Hello, grade 9 learners. Join with me as we face and overcome the challenges ahead. We can because we are matalino. I am your teacher, Roberto, your guide in sharpening your skills and enhancing your minds in grade 9 mathematics. Be ready with your self-learning module as well as your pen and paper, and let us have a wonderful day of learning. So let us be guided by the most essential learning competency for this video lesson. The learner solves problems involving triangle similarity and right triangles. Before we proceed to the lesson, let us have a review of some related topics that we need for today's discussion. We have this activity entitled Let's React. You need to read and analyze the following questions carefully and choose the correct emoji that corresponds to your answer. You're only given 10 seconds to answer the questions. So are you ready? That's great. Let us begin with question number 1. Identify the means in the proportion 4:3 is equal to 12:9. Will you choose like for 4 and 9? Or will you choose heart for 3 and 12? Or will you choose wow for 4 and 12? Your 10 seconds starts now. If you choose heart and your answer is 3 and 12, you are great! Let's proceed to number 2. Which of the following is not a proportion? Will you choose like for 1:2 is equal to 4:8? Or will you choose heart? 5:3 is equal to 10:6? Or will you choose wow for 4:5 is equal to 12:18? Your timer starts now. If you choose wow and your answer is 4:5 is equal to 12:18, then you are correct. That's fantastic. Now, let's proceed to number 3. Which of the following triangles are always similar? Will you choose like isosceles triangle? Or will you choose heart, equilateral triangle? Or will you choose wow for right triangle? Your timer starts now. If you choose heart and your answer is equilateral triangle, you are awesome. That is fun! You did an excellent job in recalling the important concepts that were represented in our previous video lesson. Before we start, I have a friend named Daniel. He is 6 feet tall and he casts a shadow that is 5 feet long. Since Daniel enjoys exploring around his environment, he measured the shadow cast by his house, which is 20 feet long. Now, he is curious what is the height of his house. Can you help my friend Daniel to find the height of his house? We will help Daniel as we discuss the problems involving triangle similarity and right triangles. Let's have the problem number 1. An electric post is supported by 2 cable wires as shown in the diagram at the right. Suppose the shorter cable is 12 meter long. What is the length of the longer cable?
here is the solution. Step 1. Identify the given information and illustrate the problem. So here is the illustration of the given problem. So we have 12 meters is the length of the shorter cable. 4 meters is the length of the shorter side of the smaller triangle. And we have 2 meters plus 4 meters is equal to 6 meters is the length of the shorter side of the larger triangle. What is asked in the given problem? It is to find the length of the longer cable or the length of the longer side of the larger triangle. Since we have a smaller triangle and we have the larger triangle, so this is a problem involving triangle similarity. Step 2. Determine the formula to be used. So let us form a proportion. So we have 12 is to 4 is equal to x is to 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. Step 3. Solve for the unknown in the given problem. So let us multiply the means as well as the extremes. So our means is 4 and x. We have 4 times x is equal to, our extremes is 12 and 6. So we have 12 times 6. And we have 4 times x is equal to 4x is equal to 12 times 6 is equal to 72. And after that, divide both sides by 4. So we have 4x divided by 4 is equal to x is equal to 72 divided by 4 is equal to 18. Step 4. State the final answer. Therefore, 18 meters is the length of the longer cable.
Let's proceed to number 2. During pandemic, Ruel decided to make a garden in their backyard. The rectangular garden measures 6 meters by 8 meters and he wants to split it diagonally from corner to corner using a fence. How long is fence need to be?
Here is the solution. Step 1. Identify the given information and illustrate the problem. Here is the illustration of the rectangular garden of Ruel. 6 meters is the width of the rectangular garden and 8 meters is the length of the rectangular garden. What is asked in the given problem? It is to find the length of the fence or the hypotenuse. So this is a problem involving right triangles. Step 2. Determine the formula to be used. We will use the Pythagorean theorem formula. We have a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared. Step 3. Solve for the unknown in the given problem. We will use the substitution property of equality. So we have a is 6 and we have b is 8. So we have 6 squared plus 8 squared is equal to c squared. Simplify, 6 squared is 36 plus 8 squared is 64 is equal to c squared. Simplify further, so we have 36 plus 64 is equal to 100 is equal to c squared. Subtract square root both sides. So we have square root of 100 is equal to the square root of c squared. So we have c is equal to 10. Step 4. State the final answer. Therefore, the length of the fence Ruel needed is 10 meters.
At this point, let us help my friend Daniel in finding the height of his house. Step 1. Identify the given information and illustrate the problem. Here is the illustration. Given, 6 feet is the height of Daniel, 5 feet is the length of the shadow of Daniel, and 20 feet is the length of the shadow of Daniel's house. Step 2. Determine the formula to be used. So, let's form a proportion, and that is 20 is to 5 is equal to x is to 6. Step 3. Solve for the unknown in the given problem. multiply the means as well as the extremes. So we have 5x is equal to 20 times 6. We will use multiplication property of equality. So we have 1/5 times 5x is equal to 120 times 1/5. After that, we simplify and we have x is equal to 24 feet. Step 4, state the final answer. Therefore, 24 feet is the height of Daniel's house. Very good, class! Thank you for helping my friend Daniel in finding the height of his house. Now, let's have a practice exercises. Answer the following problems. Number 1. A hockey player passes the puck to a teammate by bouncing the puck off the wall of the rink as shown below. From the physics, the angles that the path of the puck makes with the wall are congruent. How far from the wall will be picked up by his teammate? You are only given 10 seconds to answer the question. Your timer starts now. If your answer is 10.67 feet, that's great. Let's proceed to number 2. The size of a TV screen is given by the length of its diagonal. If the dimension of a TV screen is 16 inches by 14 inches, what is the size of the TV screen to the nearest whole number? You're only given 10 seconds to answer the question. Your timer starts now. If your answer is 21 inches, that's fantastic. Did you get the correct answers? Great! With that, I hope you learned something in that activity. Let us sum up today's lesson. In solving problems that involve triangle similarity and right triangles, we follow some steps to make our solutions organized to come up with the correct answers. After reading and analyzing the problem, here are the steps. Step 1. Identify the given information and illustrate the problem. Step 2. Determine the formula to be used. Step 3. Solve for the unknown in the given problem. And step 4. State the final answer.
Now, it's your turn. Prepare pen and paper for your solutions. Are you ready? You may now start. For your assignment, solve the following problems.
Congratulations, grade 9 learners, for a job well done. I hope you've learned a lot from this video lesson. See you next time in another episode of Exploring the Fun World of Numbers. Always remember this: where there is a problem, there is opportunity to learn something new. This is your teacher, Loreto. Thank you and have a nice day.